Monday, August 6, at Cornelius's house. In Joppa, Peter stayed with a certain Simon, a tanner by trade.
And it came to pass that he tarried many days in Joppa with one Simon, a tanner.
Meanwhile, in Caesarea, about 25 miles or 40 kilometers from Joppa, there lived a Roman centurion named Cornelius. He and his household were devout worshippers of God, though they had not yet formally adhered to Judaism, meaning that Cornelius was still an uncircumcised Gentile. In a God-given vision, he was instructed to send messengers to Joppa to invite Peter to visit him.
There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band, a devout man, and one that feared God with all his house, which gave much alms to the people, and prayed to God always. He saw in a vision, evidently about the 9th hour of the day, an angel of God coming in to him, and saying unto him, Cornelius. And when he looked on him, he was afraid, and said, What is it, Lord? And he said unto him, Thy prayers and thine alms are come up for a memorial before God. And now send men to Joppa, and call for one Simon, whose surname is Peter. He lodgeth with one Simon a tanner, whose house is by the seaside. He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do. And when the angel which spake unto Cornelius was departed, he called two of his household servants, and a devout soldier of them that waited on him continually. And when he had declared all these things unto them, he sent them to Joppa.
Read Acts 10, 9-16.
On the morrow, as they went on their journey, and drew nigh unto the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray, about the 6th hour. And he became very hungry, and would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance, and saw heaven opened, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners, and let down to the earth, wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. And the voice spake unto him again the second time, What God hath cleansed, that call not thou common. This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again into heaven.
28, 34, and 35.
And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation. But God hath shown me that I should not call any man common or unclean. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, Of a truth I perceive that God is no respecter of persons, but in every nation he that feareth him, and worketh righteousness, is accepted with him.
What did Peter experience, and how did he interpret it? It is important to know that Peter's vision was not about food, but about people. Yes, it was around noon. Peter was hungry, and the voice told him to kill and eat. Yet, God used the vision not to remove the distinction between clean and unclean animals, but to teach Peter about the inclusive character of the gospel. The vision was explicitly intended to break Peter's resistance against Gentiles. Peter's view was that if he entered Cornelius's house and fellowshipped with him, he would defile himself and so become unfit to worship in the temple or to come before God's presence. First-century Jews from Judea and the surrounding areas did not associate with uncircumcised Gentiles. The problem was with the contemporary theology, which excluded the Gentiles from the commonwealth of Israel, even though this view had become a perversion of the whole point of Israel's existence as a nation, which was to reach out to the world with a knowledge of the true God. Because circumcision was the sign of the Abrahamic covenant, uncircumcised Gentiles came to be segregated and treated with contempt. They could have no part whatsoever in the blessings of the covenant unless they accepted circumcision and became Jews. Such a concept, though, was incompatible with the universal scope of Jesus' death, as the early believers, over time, were coming to understand. Read Titus 2:11.
For the grace of God that bringeth salvation hath appeared to all men.
Galatians 3:26-28.
For ye are all the children of God by faith in Christ Jesus. For as many of you as have been baptized into Christ have put on Christ. There is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither bond nor free, there is neither male nor female, for ye are all one in Christ Jesus.
And Ephesians 2:11-19.
Wherefore remember, that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands, that at that time ye were without Christ, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope, and without God in the world. But now, in Christ Jesus ye who sometimes were far off, are made nigh by the blood of Christ. For he is our peace, who hath made both one, and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us, having abolished in his flesh the enmity, even the law of commandments contained in ordinances, for to make in himself of twain one new man, so making peace, and that he might reconcile both unto God in one body by the cross, having slain the enmity thereby, and came and preached peace to you which were afar off, and to them that were nigh. For through him we both have access by one Spirit unto the Father. Now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints, and of the household of God.
What do these texts teach about the universality of the gospel message? What should they tell us about how wrong it is for Christians to harbor prejudice against any group based on ethnicity? Hello, this is Winston Gilling. Some persons prefer watching or listening to reading. Others are pressed for time and would appreciate a resource to help them get through the lessons, hence these videos. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and share with others. Also, please subscribe to the channel to be alerted when daily lessons are posted. It also helps me to keep them coming. Thank you.